Okay, so this video is going to be short. I just wanted to share something that's happening now. People, especially brands or agencies, are looking to shift towards AI for ads creation, optimization, reporting, just like everything in terms of suggestions, analysis, as well as execution. So I had this client that I was working with since 8 to 9 months. Now they started working with Claude Code. So they asked Claude Code to connect to Google Ads and analyze everything. And now, if you see the dates, March 17th is when Claude Code was connected. And up until yesterday, it has been making changes to the account structure, the campaigns, etc. I just done a comparison between after Claude Code and before Claude Code when I was managing the account. This is not to say that AI is shit. I think there definitely is a lot of possibility of it being much better going forward. But as of now, I do think there are limitations, and completely relying on AI to manage your ads, to take decisions, does not really make sense. I think a combination of AI plus human QC, human decision making is needed as of April of 2026. I thought, like, if the client is so dependent on AI and thinks it's performing well, because you see that the ROAS definitely is better now after AI started making changes. But again, I'll show you why that. So I was the one who reached out to the client saying, if this is happening and if you think it's doing a better job, if it's saving you money, like not paying me and depending on AI, I can basically like just stop working on this account. I mean, it's mid-month and we kind of discussed it, and the client will completely depend on AI as of now and will reach out to me if they think they need any human intervention. So let's start now. This would be after AI. So, like, just on the surface, in terms of the spend, AI has spent lesser because obviously it would be a prompt from the client saying reduce budgets here, shift the budgets there. And then let's look at the revenue. So, of course, because the cost has gone down, the revenue has also gone down a little bit. It's not a lot. So, the cost went down by 40%. The revenue didn't go that low, it was down by 14%. And in terms of ROAS, it definitely increased. It's at a 40% higher ROAS. So it was 7.7 when I was handling it, it's 11.12 when AI is handling it. Now let's look at why this is happening. It's mostly because of the brand campaign. Earlier, the brand campaign was running at a 13x ROAS, and now it's at a 68% ROAS. Now, again, why did this happen? There were two major changes that AI made. One was it reduced the budget a lot on this brand campaign. So earlier it was running on like a 4,000 per day spend, or maybe 3,000, I don't clearly remember. And now it's running at a 1,500 day spend. So it has reduced the brand spending, and it also changed the strategy. So now it's running on maximize clicks. Earlier, I think it was running on maximize conversions or something. Spending less on brand, which is getting them a lot more ROAS because the revenue, it's like a 3% improvement in brand revenue. In terms of the total conversions, they are literally the same. So what this would mean is even with lesser spend, they've got the same number of orders with almost the same number of average order value. That means we were overspending on brand earlier, or now that they have reduced the budget on brand, it's going to like really hot leads. But if you see the cold traffic, that has not improved a lot. So this Performance Max campaign was completely cold. The brand terms were excluded here. And you see that the cost has gone down to 8%. Probably the client wanted to do that. And the revenue has gone down by 28%, 29%. And the ROAS has gone down by 20%. So from a 4.6, it has gone down to a 3.6. Now, here as well, there were a couple of changes. So basically, this client has three products. They're into supplements. This campaign had three asset groups for each of the product. And now the AI has suggested to pause two and just focus on one product, which is their recently launched one, which is like a sleep supplement kind of a thing. So they're completely focusing on that, because I do remember earlier when I was handling the account that since that new product was launched, it was giving a really, really high return on ad spend. So it was a very well performing product. But not to say that the other two products were not that well performing. So I obviously focused on all three of them. AI thought it would be better to focus on one. The next thing is this generic campaign. So these were like generic terms like sleep supplement or like NAD supplement, etc. The cost was increased from 10,000 to 16,000, but the revenue did not increase relatively. So there was a 10%, 9 to 10% reduction in the revenue, and the ROAS went down from a 4% to a 2.3%. So again, like there were converting keywords here that the AI paused. So if you see here, like some of the keywords were retained, like protein drink was one. Then protein water was converting but was paused. Protein concentrate was working, which was paused. Then ready to drink protein was working before. They retained it, but it did not work. In terms of the newly added keywords, I don't think any of them worked. Like I don't see any of them that converted here. Resveratrol was working, and then it still did work after AI, but somehow I see it has been paused for some reason. Then there was a standard shopping branded campaign. This again, there was a branded search campaign and there was a branded shopping campaign, just to make sure they have visibility on the shopping listings as well. So the spend increased here by 30%. Now, ideally, this should not have had a problem, but I don't know what changes were made in this or if other changes made in the account affected here. But the cost was increased by 30% by AI, but the revenue dropped here by 35%. And the ROAS dropped as well. From an 11x ROAS, it dropped down to a 5.5x return, which is like a 50% drop. And something AI did was, so it paused this standard shopping campaign. So this was a campaign which was non-branded shopping campaign. This I had launched just to feed the PMAX campaign that was also non-branded. So I wanted them to feed off each other. Now here AI completely paused this in like the early days, like in the 17th to 20th March date range. So it was spending like 23,000. Now, this campaign was working well, considering it's completely non-branded. It gave almost 1 lakh 96,000 or 1 lakh kind of a revenue. And the ROAS was also really good. It was a 4.17 ROAS. So I'm not sure why AI thought it should be paused, considering it's a completely cold traffic campaign. So, like, if you go at the search terms and see what used to convert, just look at the conversions. It's all completely cold traffic. So yeah, this was paused. And another thing that was paused was a YouTube campaign that I had. So I had this demand generation campaign that wasn't intended to get a high return, but the idea was to spread awareness and reach people who are not aware, who are in the unaware category. So it spent 12,000 earlier. It's 6 rupees after AI. So again, like this was probably paused the same day that this standard shopping campaign was paused. And in terms of revenue, like it got 11,000. So it's like a 1x return, 0.92 return. But even though the return is low, like I said, the idea was not to get a high return on this. So again, like this was a cold traffic campaign that was paused by AI. So my analysis is that AI just doesn't like cold traffic. It also depends on the prompt. I don't know what the client prompted it to do. It would look like they prompted it to give a high return, which was already like pretty well earlier. It was a 7x return, 7.7x return. So 11x is not like a very huge jump, considering a lot of this is coming from branded campaigns. So based on whatever prompts were given, or maybe prompts weren't given, but AI thought they should do this. But the general theme and the trend is that they have paused everything that was giving cold traffic conversions to the client. And also, like AI probably doesn't have that business understanding that this client is in supplement. So there are usually a lot of repeat buys in this category. If you're getting a completely cold audience to convert, not at a very low return, right? So 4x is a very good return for cold traffic. considering they will convert in the future as well. There'll be repeated buys because as far as I remember, their repeat customer rate between 30 to 40%, which is very good. If you're getting 134 customers and your repeat rate, you can take like 35%, you're getting repeat orders from 46 of these customers again, which is like a lot of revenue. So I just wanted to show this difference to anybody who's considering completely shifting to AI. Don't do that as of now. If you do want to do that, please like take a look at what AI is doing, what kind of changes it's making. Don't just look at the business context of it. And yeah, probably like with a different kind of prompts, you can ask it to make better decisions. But as of now, I don't think this AI is doing things correctly. So today, which is like the 14th of April, there are only two campaigns that are live, which is crazy. Like it has reduced the account from six campaigns to just two campaigns, and out of them, one is brand. Marketing is just not getting a high return on ad spend. It's also awareness, branding, and all of those things, which needs to be kept in mind. And yeah, just wanted to show this. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in my next one.